All right, welcome back to Career AMA series. And we have another question. In fact, in the previous episode, we talked about why you should keep your career plan flexible, what it is. And I think this is a great add-on question, which is how can you identify your sweet spots now to help you think about a career path? And frankly, I just want to add that a lot of people don't really know what their sweet spots are or really how to identify them. So if you could address that, would be great, guys. I'm going to start with Michael Leckie, please.
I guess it's not stealing or plagiarizing because I'm giving credit to our friend and colleague Michael Bungay Stanier from his early book, Do More Great Work. And one of the things that he taught me was to tell stories of your great work. And so go back and look at a moment in time and say, that was great work for me. And I remember, my great work story, I remember the first time I told one was, and I won't tell the whole story, but it was about having someone that worked for me who had been told would never really amount to anything in the job, and I should get rid of them. This is right when I took this job over, and they said, hey, so-and-so, he's not going to be the person. You should get rid of him now. We'll give you the money to get a good right-hand person because he's never going to be the kind of person you need. And I thought, I can't do that to him. I have to make that choice myself. I have to get to know him. And as I got to know him, I thought, I don't think they're right. And I began to give more and more over to him. Until one day he came to my office, and I said, hey, I'm going to have you take over the such and such. He goes, no, don't do that. I said, why, you're not ready for that? He goes, of course I'm ready for it. He said, but you're working yourself out of a job, and pretty soon they're going to require you to go to head office because they won't need you here, and you have to move to a different country. I don't think you want to go. And he was right, but it was the right thing to do. And so I stuck with it, and about 8 months later, I was told, hey, we don't have a job for you anymore. You need to move to a different country for this job. So it's a promotion. I was like, I don't want to make that move, and so I left the organization. So I worked myself out of a job. How's that a story of great work? Because it had the hallmarks of what my great work is, which is courage, which is being a bit of a rebel and bucking the trend, which is giving people space and room to grow and to thrive, even if there's a cost to it. And you'd say, well, how'd that work out for you? Worked out great because right now I work with some amazing senior leaders and captains of industry who do amazing stuff and impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. And I create a space in which they get better at doing that. And that came from kind of that great work moment. So to answer the sweet spot question, I guess I would say, find those stories of when you are in your sweet spot and then look, what are the themes that are in those stories? And those themes can be applied in so many other places. And then the world kind of becomes your oyster. And quite frankly, you can probably apply those themes in just about any job. So at that point, look for the one that's closer to home or pays better as an industry you like and go apply those themes there. That's my thoughts on sweet spot. Mark, I'm sure you got some sweet answers on this yourself, though. So let's see what you got to say.
Well, maybe one of my sweet spots is being able to produce sweet answers out of nowhere. What I would say, Michael, about that story that you told there, what a great story that you could tell at an interview of any sort, having, managed to focus and locate that. What a great story to go, look, let me answer in this way. Let me tell you about this. But, you listening to this, you may be going, gosh, I don't have those stories yet for myself. And that's okay because you'll get them, but also you can ask other people for them. That you've worked with or even family or friends and go, look, I'm not asking for, say this first of all, look, I'm not asking for criticism here, okay? Don't ask for what is my worst, fault here. This is not what we're asking for. We're asking for strength. Tell me about my strength, okay? And so you can say to friends or family or a colleague or, a manager, the boss, look, I really am collecting at the moment what my strengths are, and I want you to, tell me clearly, tell me straight, what are some of the things that you see in me that you think is a strength, is valuable, and then listen, okay? So, for example, Michael's got his story there, but if Michael came to me and went, hey, Mark, what's some of my strengths? Off the top of my head, I would go, God, Michael, you're really good at putting events together, a moment together, getting the right people together, the right space, the right people in that space, the right objective for it, and organizing that. And I mean organizing in that way of not being an organizer, but orchestrating. Yeah. So look, as I tell the story, I start to get what that strength that may be. Look, Michael Leckie can take or leave that. You know, he may go, oh, that's really quite nice. I would say that at an interview. That's really quite good. Or he might go, no, that's not really the brand I'm trying to put forward. But at least now he's got something. He's got something and he's heard it from somebody else, and it's maybe usable. And now maybe he could then go and use that and go, well, you know, where would I now go in my career if Mark's correct? If Mark's correct, you know, is this something I'd want to use further on in my career? So grab stories from people around you as well as your own story. Faye, what are your thoughts?
I love it. I really love these answers. And I want to thank you for your insights, your feedback. And also I want to just drop a note to say, anybody watching this, if you find value in it, please consider commenting, sharing, and simply tagging someone, maybe like a colleague or a friend, so that they can check out the series as well.